said something. Oh.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yikes.
Okay, we see the
want to
room,
point out
which is
to
an
the chat,
improvement.
I just want to put it out there to go in for our producer's honor. We do not control that overlay.
What is that? Okay, patch 13.3. Let's go. VCS is starting on the new patch, so that's a really good sign. We don't like the overlay too much, but at least we do have the new patch. And my eyes are just drawn to BJ for obvious reasons. It's Nidalee. The last few games I've seen of Nidalee played across the globe have been questionable at best. The bow game comes to mind. That was a big yikes. So let's see what BJ can do. Of course, this is also a jungle matchup where Nidalee into Wukong is one of those matchups where Wukong usually does well into all AD junglers and hates playing against AP junglers. So this Nidalee is also a little bit of a matchup preference here for the side of BJ.
Let's see how it works out. If anyone can pull it off, I think it is BJ and the rest of the Buffaloes. Shogun and Taki on this Lucian Nami, something we've seen just so much of all around the world for quite some time.
Yeah, and the Lulu Nami matchup is, we have seen so many games now of Nami against Lulu. Lulu usually wins the support 1v1, which is one of the reasons why she's so prevalent even into the Lucian Nami. The Aphelios Lulu was the first application of this counter pick. Counter pick is a strong word, but this good matchup for the Lulu. But now it's mostly Zeri Lulu. Lulu also just, in general, a super strong champion from lane to late game. And we see them actually winning the race in level 1. So Zeri Lulu winning against Lucian Nami. A year ago, maybe 1.5 years ago, you would say, oh no, Lucian Nami is starting to lose. But nowadays, it does mostly spike in mid-game, so it's not too bad if you don't win the lane super hard.
That's very true. I also think Lucian, his scaling discussion sometimes gets misinterpreted as well. His damage never falls off. It's his range that becomes an issue. And honestly, he's going to have a Gragas to hit most of the game, a Gragas and a Wukong. So I actually do think Shogun is going to be able to have an impact all game. However, your way, he has Ignite.
Yeah. This is the way you go nowadays on Lucian.
Fair enough. I've been missing that.
Yeah, Lucian usually goes Ignite, especially good for early kills and dives and so on. So there we go.
Speaking of the Ignite, ripped it out.
Good ward there. Really nice awareness from Team Secret. Very nicely done. They spot the BJ bot side clear. BJ full clear into bot gank was the plan at the start of the game. We even saw Penguin trying to spot out BJ's path a little bit, invading the enemy jungle, but now BJ is ahead level.
Moving into mid, but with Penguin showing himself, they do just have to immediately back off.
Yeah, but BJ has quite a huge advantage now in terms of pace in the jungle. You look at Penguin, he's one camp behind, he's going to lose this crap, and BJ is just sending it up.
Yep, there's the dash away from Hero. Will dodge the spear as well, diffuse any potential gank there, but BJ, he's ready and raring.
And I love this from BJ because usually you look at Nidalee and you say, early gangs, are you sacrificing some of your farm? But he didn't. He full cleared into 2 gangs and even a little bit of pressure in bot lane, and none of his camps were up. So now he's resetting. His camps are going to respawn just in time for him to go there and farm again. So perfect execution on his pathing there. Nice early advantage for BJ. It's only 1 camp for now, but pressure won on both sides, and you can see the solo lanes are already kind of profiting from this.
Going forward, taking Artifact very low, doesn't go on. That was unfroggy-like restraint your way. He's grown.
He might have, and look at him, he's up 1 CS. Froggy haters, shut up.
Whoa, he's up a CS, he didn't go under tower at 5 minutes. Who is this man?
Yeah, Hasmid just got a nice little... I thought he got a plate, but there wasn't a plate. Okay, never mind me. But Hasmid is staying even in the top lane matchup too, which is nice to see. This is a scaling tank matchup into the mostly AP Gragas, so he's going to struggle a little bit in the early game, but should be fine, all things considered.
Should be. We do have the first backs coming in. The one thing I'm noticing is it looks like SGB got a much better back timing in their bot lane. It is a Noon Quiver versus 2 long swords. I think this might just mean that in a couple of minutes' time, this gives SGB Dragon.
So what this item difference mostly does is the push is going to be in favor of SGB now. But we see BJ attempting another one. If he lands the spear...
Oh, the spear doesn't land, but they do get Artifact's Flash. So the time is well spent.
BJ still the one making all the plays happen. Oh, Penguin, you're a little bit down.
Yeah, he's just giving him a bit of a harass. Froggy now forced backwards. He's actually probably going to lose a fair bit of CS here. He can't really step up with the dive looking that strong from the Wukong. Doesn't have teleport either.
Yeah, so the Wukong as expected on the back foot compared to the Nidalee, especially in terms of clear speed. But he's kind of making it work. He is falling further and further behind, though, and he needs to be careful not to be run over by BJ. Now, Nidalee, obviously, is not the biggest spike ever in the game at level 6, while Wukong is a huge difference in terms of level 5 to level 6, so BJ needs to stay ahead, needs to be the stronger jungler. He hasn't really been able to accelerate through pushing into the enemy jungle, but here we might have an opportunity for him to do so.
Yeah, the Death Brush is set, warded out, and the bubble does miss over the wall.
Oh,
CJ steals away the Gromp. Well done there, but no kills happen. We are 7 minutes deep in a VCS game, an SGB game, and there has been no first blood. And there's an objective going down, and 6 people aren't dying. Where's my VCS your way?
We kind of need to address this narrative because at Worlds, a lot of people came in and just talked about the VCS teams as if it was still 2017. And we saw a lot of very slow early games, especially from SGB, but also from GAM. And this is just the way we play now.
Did we watch the same GAM at Worlds?
Okay, GAM tried
losing against TES in 2 minutes?
True. They tried a few weird set plays that didn't go great, but they are not the chaotic teams from like 2017, 2019 that go for every single thing with no purpose. We play pretty standard League nowadays, and especially SGB has changed their identity from the rookie days of 2021 where everything was planned and they went for crazy plays all the time. Froggy was roaming in level 5. They are basically just playing a pretty standard version of League now. With this team, why wouldn't they?
Hero flashing.
Yeah, we're getting more and more flashes and objectives for the side of SGB, so everything is going in their favor. They would like to snowball a little bit harder, but they don't have to force anything, and we can see the damage ranking here. That's a new one. Interestingly enough, it's Hasmit on the Cyan, the number 1 on the damage ranking at 8 minutes. Not something I would have expected.
Honestly, that makes perfect sense to me because that's just 2 tanks walking up at each other and just smacking each other with grasp and walking back and regenning.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're 2 melee champs just permanently hitting each other with grasp and sustaining through it all. So it makes sense that there's a lot of HP to work through, and Artifact doesn't have flash still, but don't really have the greatest CC setup on any of these lanes, and obviously Nidalee doesn't really bring any CC either, so there's a lot of pushing going on for SGB. They are winning on the map, but it's only a 100 gold lead, and they need to be careful not to give it all up with a big fight, because they are on the winning track, so they are winning the game right now, but not by much. So if they ever overstep and Team Secret wins an objective war or gets a few kills, then suddenly the game can swing drastically in their favor.
Yeah, we did just see Team Secret going and picking up a Rift Herald, Penguin managing to just mostly solo that one down. So Team Secret do have potential to pick up some gold to throw themselves into that numerical lead. But with a lot of members in the river, Penguin caught out, taking a lot of damage, rips out the Cyclone, but BJ will get the first blood of 2023. Artifact moving forward onto Froggy, flashing away, but BJ comes in and that kitty's got claws.
That is the way SGB love to play in 2021, all around BJ, set him up for success and slam it down. 2-0 now on the Nidalee, and he's so insanely far ahead. Now, what can Penguin even do to enter his own jungle? You can see Hasmit is now trying to get some vision into the top side. There is a very sneaky ward, and this is all set up for perfection. Nidalee can carry. This is one of the ways we've seen Canyon do it so many times, and, well, look at this damage. Wukong does not like to play against AP champions, and we see why. Those two together just cut him down in an instant, and obviously, Artifact without his flash is another easy kill for the red buff Nidalee.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit disorganized there from Team Secret. Artifact kind of falling to save your friend syndrome as he moved over to try and find a way to get Penguin out, but should have realized that that Penguin was cooked and did give over a second kill. So now we have BJ with that Hextech Alternator, the boots complete. He is doing a hell of a lot of damage wherever he chooses to go.
And look at the top lane just for a second here. I know it's Gragas against Sion, not the most interesting, but...
Are you kidding? I'm a top lane main. I love this.
Hasmed got 2 plates on his own after one gank. One little gank from BJ that didn't even deal any damage to Hero. So it's mostly just Hasmed's laning prowess, and this is exactly what we want to see. Hasmed, with a disappointing international season last year, and even in finals against GAM, he was a little bit of a liability into Kiaya Levi, but... this is the perfect first game. He plays a tank for his super strong players on the other side of the map, and he wins on his own. So now he's going to be a big, big threat for the later stages.
BJ is here. They kind of sniff it out, though. They will just drop the Herald and back off. Can they kill this Herald? That would be an absolute disaster. It's not going to charge as well. BJ has Smite. There's a wave coming in. The eyes open. Penguin moving forward, trying to defend it. BJ going low. The Herald will fall without charging, and that's what SGB was here for.
That is the SGB we like to see. Very risky play. BJ almost gave up his whole advantage and the shutdown over to Penguin, but they eliminated the counter from the Herald. So, well, next objective is gonna be the Dragon again, and it looks like SGB is just in firm control of everything. Dragon spawning. BJ is back to full HP because, yeah, jungle in season 2013.
Yep,
So.
jungle pets. I love playing my Pokemons when I play my League of Legends. It's just good multitasking. That crab will mean that Team Secret can see everything that's going on, but all they see is sadness, as that is going to be a second Drake now for SGB as we head onto the Infernal Rift for the first time this year.
And Carriggs, I just have to say, how clean is Saigon Buffalo looking in
Looks
this first
amazing.
game?
Yeah, this
They haven't played for more than 6 months, and this is how they look in the first game.
Yeah, and we were worried.
30 minutes.
Yeah, we were really worried, or at least I was a bit worried about, you know, all of that, the off-season issues, like were scrims interrupted? Was there coaching staff issues? We didn't really have too much insight on those things, but I was kind of worried. It doesn't look like it's affected them at all, because this is about as clean and collected as we've seen SGB in a very, very long time.
Yeah, and very purposeful in all their plays. It's trying to set up the Nidalee from draft to gameplay, and everyone is trying to do their part in setting up this composition to work in the mid game. So very disciplined, very purposeful, as I said before. And as someone brought up the Korean coach, we have seen Korean coaches before in the VCS, and they have had some influence in the macro development for sure. But we've also seen them kind of fail in a few different aspects. Think about Cerberus. So losing Ren was one of the big question marks, because he's a legendary coach with a lot of good set plays.
Wave coming in. Eddie has to flash. Lovely stuff.
Very easy. So Utility now, the coach for Saigon Buffalo, and I mean his team is looking sharp in the first game, so we can only conjecture that he's doing a great job teaching them some of the ways of his home region.
Absolutely, as Hasmed gets another grasp proc, not afraid of Artifact whatsoever. He will just be able to walk away, doing the Tonk thing. You love to see it. Aren't you happy that tanks are viable again your way?
I like to watch tanks, yeah.
I love tanks. No, absolutely no sarcasm there. I love tanks.
I also like to play tanks. It's so chill.
Yeah, exactly.
The Cho'Gath buffs are coming next patch, so we might see some sign against Cho'Gath later.
Ooh,
so the
how about that new Cho'Gath splasher? Ooh. Very sexy. And you know what else is? Eddie getting engaged on, but Shogun having to Gale Force flash away. He's in trouble with Eddie bearing down on him. They will pick up the kill, but now Husband entering from the backside. They desperately want to kill this Zeri. They will manage it. 1-for-1 at the moment. An electrocute proc onto Penguin. In goes BJ, ripping them up, but Artifact says no. Puts the Chaos Storm on. The Kitty's going to live just for now. As Team Secret backing off Froggy, zoning them out.
First misplay of the game from SGB, but good punish from the side of Team Secret too. They are still looking for the opportunity. Team Secret on the back foot so far, but that's to be expected with this composition, honestly. So, still showing big signs of life. And let's take a look at Shogun. Penguin, they didn't know about Penguin. Penguin with the perfect punish there. Eddie too tanky, especially with shield bow already completed, and Zhu Hao in the back pocket as well with his shields and his ultimate. So, I think Zhu Hao messed up the heal there. I need to look at the summoners again if he actually has the heal. Yeah, it looked like he healed Penguin instead. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, that's very likely what happened there because Zhu Hao has heal. So maybe, just maybe, Eddie could have even lived there if his support played a little bit better. But still, a good punish, a kill for Eddie, and maybe a little bit of hope for the later stages of the game.
Very possible. If Team Secret could pick one person to get fed, you'd imagine it would be the man on your screen, Eddie. A player that has had very mixed opinions, at least from our broadcast team. We of course, have Milky Cereal, the #1 member of the Eddie fan club, but we also have quite a few Eddie haters. As we see this Rift Herald summoned up, assuming there's no fight, what are your projections for Eddie this split?
It's really hard to say. I think ADC's... No.
I said presuming there's no fight. They nearly did, but continue.
They're just pressuring. So they get 2 charges of the Herald. Nicely done. Not too much invested from SGB, just getting the 2 charges and opening up the map here. I do feel like Eddie has to show a little bit more than before. He is a solid player, but ADC is also the strongest position in Vietnam. So if he really wants Team Secret to... Fact, the flanking Victor...
BJ has to find a way out here. Does have a lot of mobility with that rocket belt. Shogun just tickling Hero. This is a very, very strange little kerfuffle. Eddie taking so much damage. He now has to go find something to hit to heal himself up. BJ wants it, and in comes the train. Husmed can't quite find the angle. Team Secret will back off, but the Dragon's spawning. SGB's just stolen the positioning.
Yeah, Team Secret tried to do a little bit of a desperation push for the Dragon, tried to catch SGB on the rotation back from their push in the mid lane, but unsuccessful, and now they have to concede this Dragon. There's no way they can contest this one. That's Soul Point, and the timing of the next Dragon is a little early for Team Secret. They would like to steal this Dragon and wait a few more minutes to come online. Eddie is still so far away from a second item. Artifact is not quite there to eliminate someone like Shogun or BJ with Burst, so this is a little too early for them. The next Dragon they have to fight, it's going to be Soul, and it might just be on Saigon Buffalo's terms again.
Yeah, really well done there, particularly by BJ, who's having a lights-out game so far on this Nidalee. He has made 1 or 2 mistakes that sure we could go back and criticize him for, but the overall performance so far has been pretty fantastic on a champion that can be so feast or famine.
Very nice to see Shogun mess up that CS there. It happens. Shogun maybe not the most impressive first game, but he's playing all right. One big mistake there, but he didn't see the enemy jungler, so not much he could have done differently. So overall, a fine game. I think all of the players of SGB are showing up for this first game, and they are moving into the mid game with a 5k gold lead and 3 dragons to their name. So everything is looking SGB. How can Team Secret attack this team now? Can they get to their second item on Eddie and Artifact to give themselves a fighting chance for the next Dragon fight? Because that's really all we have to look for. So how is their lane assignment? How is their resource distribution over the next few minutes? Oh man, Eddie is going for Bloodthirst a second, it looks like. That is not the item you want to deal damage.
Yeah, that does not seem ideal. But on the topic of who Team Secret can look to, I actually think it's Hero. Hero's in a really good position right now. He's farmed quite well, even with Husmed. He's very, very tanky. Shogun has to use a lot of resources to cut through him. Yeah, he'll get through him eventually, but it's not very fast, particularly with this RFC second. BJ as well, you can throw Burst into a Gragas. He's just not a very good target for it. So I think Hero, if he can get some good positioning, fend off some poke, he can be the anchor for this Team Secret lineup.
Yeah, the problem I'm seeing right now with their composition is, where's the damage? With Zeri going this defensively in her builds, she's still so far away from dealing any damage, especially to Husmed. Look at him. He's at 4k HP with a shield, so even if she can steal away the shield, that's gonna take ages to take down. And Artifact, with the Crown first, very defensive build too. He's still pretty far away too, and Team Secret making a push here to attack the mid tower, but this could go horribly wrong if they overextend.
Yeah, they know that though, and they do back off. There's no reason to overextend for this. Froggy, he knows as well. Just back off. SGB, they're looking so good this game.
Yeah, and SGB outplaying Team Secret on side lanes is something we never, ever saw in the last season. SGB was really the kind of brain-dead mid-game team where they made full use of modern League of Legends, where everything is about big objectives and team fights there. They didn't really care too much about lane assignments, and usually they came into the mid-game against Secret with a nice little gold lead, 4 or 5k, and then lost 2 to 3k to side laning from Team Secret. This is the way it went in almost every Team Secret against SGB game. SGB just the better early game team, and Team Secret the better lane team, or just better mid-game team. But this is a good sign from SGB, shoring up some of their weaknesses when it comes to lane assignments, and even Froggy backing off there from the tower, when he could have greeted for the tower kill, is a very nice sign, because this is something Froggy would have done, and Husmet even as well, maybe the last year or the year before, just dying on side lane for no reason, but now he's just going to use his pressure, use his vision, and slowly but surely choke down that tower and slowly just, get a little bit more gold for themselves.
Now, your way. You've talked about Team Secret having a damage problem. Now, Artifact went Crown first, which, maybe there's some debate around that, but I think overall, the defensive utility can make sense as a first item. Oh, are dead. Oh my word, and they're going to immediately pull the trigger. Wave going across, sectioning Team Secret off, but there's no follow-up from SGB. It will just be that one lovely pick. But your way, I wanted to finish my question. There's currently a Fiendish Codex in Artifact's inventory. Is he going negative damage, Victor?
It does look like it right now, but I think we need to concern ourselves with this dragon approach, because Team Secret has to do it, but they are.
Hero on the way back. Froggy trying to poke in. Penguin moves in, gets good damage onto Bean J, but now has to find a way out. He's caught his section. The jungler's dead for the soul fight. Team Secret are pushed out, and Saigon Buffalo, with an absolutely magnificent start to the split, they will go, presumably, to pick up their first soul.
And yeah, there we are. Saigon Buffalo just looking clean. Oh no, there's one more attempt. The Hail Mary teleport.
I think they have to Hail Mary. You have to fight this 4v5.
They don't have smite. It's so...
they have to win the fight. They have to find a fight. I don't think they have a choice. They've still got a couple of big ults. They've got the Zeri ult. They've got the Chaos Storm. Maybe they can find an angle here. Recall coming out of Husmed. Does have TP. Now, Penguin back on the map. It's a brawl for this dragon your way.
They've kind of squandered their opportunity to just take the dragon in front of Team Secret, but they're confident in their ability to just create another team fight. Penguin is back, but no ultimate, so that
Shogun recalled.
Yeah. Shogun needs to run
Can they find an angle?
He's getting close, though. I don't think Team Secret can finish before Shogun gets there, and this could be the final fight of the game here.
It definitely could be. SGB are trying to close the trap. Husmed's actually roamed up from the bottom side, so Team Secret do have a path of retreat if they can find it. Another spear goes wide. Dragon resetting for now. It's a little bit of back and forth, pokey back and forth. Penguin on the way around the side, has the Cyclone coming up. Can he get onto the back line? He can't. Straight onto Taki, straight onto Shogun. He's trying to burst the Lucian out, but the flash will get him away. Now Penguin in trouble, will go down to the shot from Froggy. Zhu Hao low as well. SGB on the wrong side of the map. Eddie moving forward, trying to get that Zeri damage done, but does not have anything behind him. Moving in, goes over with the Q, takes down Zhu Hao. Artifact now out of the fight completely. They're just going to round them out. It's going to be a massacre in the river as Hero is cut down. Eddie might just escape, but it's sold for SGB. And my word, your way, this is the best I've ever seen them play.
So I will say they were a little bit too defensive for my liking there. They had such a huge gold lead, such a huge advantage in champion strength, and kind of just seeded positioning on the dragon, but overall the outcome is great. And Penguin just tried everything, but 2 flashes available. Now Shogun is completely out of threat range of anyone, and they just are lacking the damage. Look at Husmed's positioning in the choke. Eddie is trying to hit him, but Nothing's ever happening to this.
Look at Froggy.
Sion.
Look at this.
And Froggy,
The
he has
assassin.
no mana. He has mana for 1 Q, and he makes such good use of that. The poor Lulu on the other side. I'm not sure where the Q was aiming, but it doesn't matter, because at this point the fight is over. And Saigon Buffalo playing it super carefully, very defensively. They didn't want to make a single mistake here. And into the Victor, Gravity Field, and Chaos Storm, and so on, or the choke abilities. It's scary, but now they do have the soul. They have an 8k gold lead, and they are looking at the big purple worm.
That they are, and you just have to ask the question of who even begins to cut through Husmed. This has to be heroics from Hero and Penguin to find a miracle catch onto Shogun or BNJ. But we've seen them attempt it so many times, and it just isn't working out. Artifact gets his crown popped, sets a big culling to the face. In goes Penguin, one shot off the map. That monkey is gone.
And I think what we can see from this game and for the future for Saigon Buffalo in this series and later is they will not tolerate an early Wukong rotation, which is a really good sign for this team because Wukong is one of the stables. He's really strong in team fighting. He's one of the favorites of a lot of VCS players. So having an answer into Wukong and showing it off in the first game of the season is very high value for the rest. And really just showing all the other teams, if you early pick Wukong, we are going to slam Nidalee, we are going to make his life a living hell. As you can see here, this poor monkey just, disintegrated.
I also just want to put it out there, someone that's kind of flying under the radar, at least so far, not overall in our broadcast, of course, but maybe this game, is Taki. He's had some excellent waves on this Nami.
Yeah, good to see.
He's really making it hard for Penguin and Hero.
Had a really nice roam early for the first blood as well, just giving Penguin the ability to chase down with slows on every ability. So yeah, good performance from all the members really. BJ, Penguin.
Bush, Penguin doesn't want to be there, will get over the wall.
Yeah, that's Nidalee against Wukong, especially from ahead. You do not want to fight that. And at this point, Penguin is just going to go down to any combo from any champion. I think Taki might have a shot at a 1v1 right now. They're the same level, support and jungler. So, yeah, it's a roughie.
It really is. I think we are kind of watching the funeral march of Team Secret in Game 1. Of course, we do play best of threes here in the VCS, so there's still plenty of fight left in Team Secret, but I don't think it will manifest here in Game 1 as the siege is on 2 lanes.
Yeah.
And they need a miracle.
That was another Hail Mary approach. Penguin is just so easy to read, and Lucian is such a good champion at dodging away from these engage attempts.
Ooh, BJ getting a little bit over-aggressive, but does have the stasis to bail him out. In goes Hudson, almost one-shotting Zhu Hao. Shogun will be the one to pick up the kill. The inhib going down, should be joined by a second one momentarily. And this has been a masterclass out of SGB. What a game to start off our split here your way.
Yeah, really very little to criticize. I would say the one thing they need to work on is how they position around objectives with the big lead, but maybe it's just a little bit of jitters from the first game. Don't want to throw anything. They know there's a Zeri, there's a Victor on the other team, so playing it safe, maybe a little too safe, but honestly, look at the result, 4-0-3 in the jungle. They set up everything in draft and game for BJ to slam it home, and everyone is playing their part. They are so far ahead, they are so insanely strong right now, and I want to shout out one other player we haven't talked about too much in this game, and that's Husmed. What a performance on the tank. This is the perfect tank performance. Winning his lane, just perfect zoning in team fights, engage there as well. He's doing everything you would ever hope from a Sion player.
It's true. He really, really is. Hasn't been super flashy, nothing like that, but has just been doing exactly what he needs to be doing. So Yue, the question becomes, while we sort of watch this siege come in, there will likely be one more fight in this game before SGB do claim it. What do Team Secret do in Game 2?
It's a difficult question. They need a better jungle matchup because Penguin is one of their most important players for the early game. They have never really been able to stand up to SGB in the early game, but they can't afford to fall this far behind. So I think a stabilizing jungle matchup, red side, maybe counterpick the jungle so you don't fall into the Wukong against Nidalee kind of lopsided matchup again. That would be my first approach, and then, oh, here we go again. Penguin with the engage.
Shogun gets to a wall though, As Penguin now getting chunked out. There's the culling to finish him off. Artifact taken low, taken down. Zeri will turn around with one. Eddie can get second, but he just can't do enough. He puts on some heroics, but now the train comes into the station. Hazmed looking for the knock up onto Hero. Doesn't quite find it. Froggy has not been landing these EQs, but it doesn't matter because they can just keep under the tower. Hazmed needs to be a little bit careful as it is adding up, but the Nexus towers are under siege. SGB wants to start their 2023 off with a win, and it's going to be a dominant one over Team Secret, who never really got started.
That is the first Nexus of VCS exploding, a little bit behind schedule because of our pause at the start, but